So I'm going to tell you what happened to me in Port Townsend, Washington in 2016, and it was during a caregiving job that I had to do overnight. So at about 9 o'clock at night, I got this phone call. No, wait a minute. I think maybe it was like 7:30. I got a phone call saying the caregiver that was supposed to show up at this one place didn't show up. And if I, wanted the extra hours, would I want to come and do the job? And I'm like, sure. Where is it? And they said Port Townsend. And when they said Port Townsend, I immediately was like, red flags. I'm not sure if I want to do that because Port Townsend is known for a lot of haunted houses because it's an old, Victorian town. Well, anyway, I did it. I'm like, okay, this person needs me. I've got to do it. So I agreed. Well, anyway, they said try to get there as soon as I could. And Port Townsend is probably a good 20 minutes away from us. So anyway, I'm going, and it's a dark, rainy night, windy, and I pull up onto the street, and it's dark. There's no street lamps on, of course, and I find I'm parked in front of the house, and what I think is the house. I wasn't sure because it was so dark, I couldn't see the house numbers. And of course, all the street lamps were off. So here I'm sitting in the car, and the only house that has any light had one little low lamp in the front window. The rest of the house was all dark. And I'm like, I wonder if that's it. Please don't be it. Because it was the scariest house on the block. And I looked, I saw the number. Yes, that was it. Of course, that was it. And at first I was like, oh, crud, I can't do this. This house looks too scary. So I was actually going to call and tell my, the workplace. No, I got a flat tire or something like that on the way. But I didn't. And I remembered, when I packed like a duffel bag of stuff, like a blanket and, a little pillow, just so I could be comfy because I didn't know what to expect before I went there. And I packed my tablet so I could play a video game if I wanted to, or look up things, because my phone at the time didn't do any of that. It was like a flip phone thing. And then I remembered packing my Bible. I was like, I am bringing my Bible. Well, anyway, so I prayed, Lord, protect me tonight, help me do a good job of whatever it is I need to do. And I went up to the door and I knocked, and it was the daughter that answered the phone, the daughter of the people that I was going to be watching. And she looked like she was probably in her 60s. So, that they had to have been pretty old. Well, anyway, I came in. She showed me around, told me where I was going to be sitting, which was with my back to a window in a bay window. So I could see the whole, front room and the bedroom door of where the people were. And I didn't meet the people, didn't see the people, because they were asleep by the time I got there. So I was basically there to give the man, her father, his medicine in the morning at 7 o'clock sharp in the morning. That's basically it. Just being there at night. She stayed into the guest house behind the house. So she wasn't actually in the house. Well, anyway, so she shows me around, and she had some towels, like bath towels, that she had on the stair banister. And she's like, so the kitchen's here, dining room, you're going to be sitting here. And she said, please leave the lights off except the one lamp next to your chair. And I thought that was kind of weird. Like, okay. So I'm going to be sitting in the pitch dark except for one little low lamp. And then she said, I've got to take these upstairs, but I'm going to show you the bathroom that you'll use. Because I guess there was another bathroom down in the room that the parents slept in. But of course, I'm not going to go in there to go to the bathroom. So we're going upstairs, and she had those towels on her arm. And she goes, I've got to take these up there to them. And in my mind, I'm like, them? So are there people up here too? And we're going up the stairs, and it's one of those stairs that, you go up straight, and then it winds around to the left and comes up around onto a landing. And then there's a big long hallway with doors, on each side of the hallway going down. She shows me the bathroom. She goes and puts those towels on a bed there's 3 doors actually to the bathroom. One main door from the hallway. When you're in the bathroom, there's another side door next to the sink. And this bathroom was huge. I mean, this bathroom was like one of those old Victorian bathrooms. They did not change a thing. Anyway, so she goes and puts those on the bed that's in the room, the bedroom next to the bathroom. And then there was another door to the left on the opposite side of the bathroom that goes into another room, but that door was shut. So I'm like, okay, there's the bathroom. And she's stressed. So when you come out of the bathroom, please make sure to shut the light off. Again, when we got up there, it was pitch black. She turned the bathroom light on, went and put the towels on the bed, and then when she shut the light off, it's pitch black, and then feeling your way down the stairs in the dark. So anyway, we come back downstairs, and she showed me where there was a little glass of water and on a tray, and then a little cup of, his pills. And she just said, unless they get up in the middle of the night and need your help, you're basically just sitting here and make sure nothing happens. And then at 7 o'clock in the morning sharp, just knock on the door and go in and, give him his medicine, because the other caregiver would be coming around 7:15 in the morning. So anyway, she says, I'm going to be staying out in the guest house back in the backyard. So if you need anything, I'm out there. And she wrote down her cell phone number so that way I could call her if I had questions or anything. So she goes out there, and I sit down in the chair that's in this, bay cul-de-sac thing. The house was immaculate. It was absolutely gorgeous, like out of a movie. Great big wooden pillars in the living room. The place was huge. The fireplace was probably 6 feet tall. I mean, it was huge, just absolutely gorgeous. There was like this antelope head up above the fireplace, and, all these old antique things around, and it was just so beautiful. So anyway, I'm sitting there and just have the one little lamp on. And I decide to, open up my Bible, start reading my Bible, and because I kind of felt scared. Well, then I'm thinking, okay, there is no way that I am going to go up those stairs to go to the bathroom. Nope, not going to do it. If I have to, I'm going to hold it all night. So Anyway, so I'm there, I'm reading my Bible. Well, all of a sudden, the door across from me where the, people are, the door opens. And out walks this little old lady. She's wearing a long white nightgown with long sleeves and little, the little ruffles on the bottom of the sleeves and the nightgown. And her hair was down and it was white, kind of like frizzy, like going all over. And I will look up the picture that exactly describes how she looked. I'll look it up online and send it to you so you can see what she looked like. Well, anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, hi, my name's Heidi. I'm your caregiver for the night. And, just to let you know, I'm here if you need anything, smiling at her, being friendly. She just scowled at me. She just stood there and scowled at me and then muttered, I'm Gloria. And then she just immediately turned and walked into the dining room. So the dining room is behind the fireplace of where I was. And then off of that is the kitchen in the back. And then there's a back door that goes to the big wraparound porch. That was really pretty too. The big wraparound porch that goes out back. So I was like, that was kind of weird. She's not very friendly. And I thought, well, maybe they've had some trouble with caregivers in the past and, she's kind of defensive or something. So I go back to reading my Bible, and then I hear the cabinet open in the kitchen, and I hear her, hear her get a glass out, and then I hear the water running. Like, oh, she's getting a drink of water. Okay. And I wasn't there to do anything with her. It was her husband that was the one that has the, needs the caregiver. So I just figured, oh, she's doing her own thing. She's fine. Well, about 5 minutes pass, and I'm like, well, I don't hear I don't hear her. And she hasn't come back out yet. I wonder what she's doing. So I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to, just as an excuse to, see if she's in there, act like I'm going to get a glass of water. So I go in there, and that's when I first see the dining room. I'm like, whoa, this place looks snazzy. And then I go into the kitchen. And the kitchen, you go in, and to the right, there's another bay window in there and a cute little dinette, breakfast nook. And oh my gosh, that kitchen was perfect. I absolutely loved it. It was so cute. But I mean, a Victorian with the tall cabinets and all that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, she wasn't in there. And I did not hear her leave. Didn't see any glass or anything. And I'm like, okay, where is she? So then I noticed the back door off of the dining room and kind of looked out there and opened up the door. And I said, Gloria, are you out here? Nothing. And then I thought, well, maybe she went out to the guest house, to talk to the daughter. Well, then I come back and sit down. And a little bit later, of course, I've got to go to the bathroom. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to have to. I am not going up those stairs. And then anyway, time passes, and of course, I couldn't hold it. And I just prayed. I'm like, Lord, protect me. Please help me not be afraid, knowing that you are with me. There's no reason to be afraid. And I just got up. I took my cell phone with me and got up, and I went up the stairs, and they were, creaky and all that. Went up there, got in there to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, where's the dang toilet? Straight ahead, there's an old Victorian clawfoot tub with that silver, the silver thingy around the top and all that. To the left was the sink area. There was even a little, I'll have to show you that too, but I'll Google it. there was it looked like I thought, oh, they have a pet bath for, for washing dogs or something from the old days. It's a sitz bath. They even still had that in there. I mean, this bathroom, the tile, all that, just, they did not change anything, I bet, since that house was built. Just absolutely beautiful. Well, lo and behold, the toilet is in an actual water closet to the right, in a tiny little closet, just enough to fit the toilet. And it even had the pull string on top and everything. I mean, this was like going back in time. So I'm there, on the toilet, trying to go fast. And straight ahead of me in that water closet was another closet door. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's where they keep their towels and stuff. But who knows? I didn't open it to look. And then I kind of kept the door open so I could see out, because I was just had this weird feeling about that room where she put the towels. And I looked, I could see, that door was open to that room, but the room, of course, was dark. You could see the bed from the light of the bathroom. But I noticed where she put the towels were gone. So now I'm thinking, is there somebody up here, that she just doesn't mention it because it isn't any of my business, but is there somebody up here that I don't know that's up here? And that kind of scared me. And I'm like, oh, crud. I'm going to have to go across the bathroom to get to the sink to wash my hands. It's like I'm doing a caregiving job. I can't wipe and not wash my hands. So, and I had to go over there by that door where the bedroom was. And I'm just like, nope, not going to be scared. Jesus is with me. There's nothing to be afraid of. Walked over there, just quickly washed my hands while I'm staring in that room the whole time and wondering what the heck happened to the towels. Well, okay, anyway, I shut the light off, and I go down the stairs as fast as I could, but as quietly as I could, because I guess the room that they were in would have been right there behind the stairs, and I didn't want to be too loud going down the stairs. Well, as I'm coming down to the bottom of the stairs, and it kind of winds around to the, until you get down on the floor, I come around that corner, and when I'm coming down the stairs, I can't see down because it's dark, down past the railing. Well, when I rounded that corner, boom, there's that lady. And she's just standing there looking at me like she's mad, like I'm in trouble. And I said, hi, oh, hi. I said, do you need anything? And then she said, what are you doing playing around upstairs? And I was like, oh, I wasn't up there playing around. I had to go to the bathroom. And she goes, you're not supposed to be playing around up there. And just turned around and walked back to that room. And I was like, okay, that was weird. Went back and sat down. And then, a little bit more time passes. Well, then, I had to go to the bathroom again. And I was just like, okay, you did it once, nothing happened. Just get up there and go and get back down here. So I went up there, nothing happened. I come back down, boom, around that corner, down at the bottom of the stairs, boom, there she is again, scowling at me. And she just, what are you doing playing around up there? And I just said, oh, I had to go to the bathroom again. And I thought, maybe I'm being too loud on the stairs and waking her up. And she just turned around and walked back off. Now, when I went and sat down again, I was like, by the time, I mean, that door is right there where I can see it the whole time. So I could see her going, walking to the door, and I'm going over to where my chair is. Well, by the time I sit down in the chair, wow, that was awfully quick. The door's already shut. She's already in there. I didn't even hear the door open or close. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even hear any footsteps. So that was kind of weird. I'm like, huh? And, at this, I mean, nothing's in my mind thinking, oh, it's a ghost. This place is haunted. I'm not thinking that. So I sat there, and by this point, I think it was 2:45. And of course, in my mind, I'm like, 3 o'clock is the witching hour. I can't go to sleep. I am not going to be woke up with a ghost in my face. If anything, I'm going to meet that ghost before it meets me so that I'm prepared. And I was just bound and determined to stay awake until, the other caregiver got there. So I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, it's 2:45, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was starting to doze off. I was already getting tired. Well, I ended up falling asleep, which I didn't realize I did till after. But I ended up falling asleep, and boom, I'm already in a dream. Now, tell me why I would dream this. So I am dreaming. I'm in that chair. I'm at that house. I'm in that chair. And a little girl that looks like, and I'll show you a picture of what she looked like too, off Google, kind of what she looked like. A little girl comes up to me and she's smiling, and she looks probably like maybe 8 years old, 7 or 8. Long brown hair down to her butt, up on the sides, just like that Victorian style, up on the sides with a great big bow on top of her head. And she's wearing a black long dress, like a black long dress, and those black boots that they would wear. And she was smiling and, happy. And she reached her hand out to me. And I took her hand, and she led me over to the staircase, and we went up the stairs. And I just remembered when we were going up the stairs, she was holding my left hand and I was holding her right. And she was a little bit ahead of me, like one step up ahead of me. And I remember looking at her hair really quick. Looking at her hair, oh, it's long and it's up with a cute bow, and what she was wearing. That's how I know what she was wearing. And I just kept looking at her feet like, oh, wow, she's got those old-fashioned Victorian boots on. And we're going up the stairs, and then up above I could hear giggling. Like, other kids up there giggling. And then I could hear footsteps running up and down the hallway. And it was sunny. It was bright. It wasn't dark. And I remember looking up as we're coming up toward the top of the stairs. I remember looking up and seeing a face, a little girl. She probably looked like she was 3 or 4, looking through the banister railings with her hands holding onto the railings, and she was smiling and laughing, and she said, "Come play with us." And I wasn't scared at all in my dream. I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these cute little girls. They're all little girls. There's like 5 of them, all wearing the same kind of clothes, same hairstyle. And some of them are running up and down the hallway. And all of a sudden, my cell phone went off, like a text waking me up. And it was Thor messaging me of how it went. And it was like 6:15 in the morning. I was asleep for like 4 hours or 3 hours. And it just seemed like a second. And I woke up and I was like, why did I dream that? why would I dream about this house when I've never been in it before and some little girl from the Victorian days? And well, anyway, so I'm texting him. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that during the night, when I was sitting there, I heard these footsteps right above me in the bathroom because the bathroom was right above me. And I'm thinking the bathtub would be right above me. But I could hear footsteps in the bathroom. I swear they were footsteps, and I could hear them come from the bathroom to the top of the stairs and start coming down the stairs. And I was like, oh, somebody else must be here. That's why she left the towels up there. And I was looking over at the staircase, waiting to see feet, legs coming down the staircase, but then they stopped. And that's when I thought, something's not right here. Well, anyway, so then I stay up, I'm awake, knock on the bedroom door to give them or him his medicine. Have never met this man before in my life. Okay, I've already seen his wife. She's not very friendly. And I knock on the door and I said, Mr. So-and-so, it's Heidi, the caregiver, with your medicine. May I come in? I wasn't just going to knock on the door and go in there. Have a little bit of respect. And he's like, come on in. And so I went in, and he and his wife was covered up, still laying on her side in the bed with her face away from me. And he was on the opposite side of the bed, or the farther side. So I had to walk around the foot of the bed and come over to his side. And I said, good morning. And he was friendly and nice. And anyway, so he sat up and he's taken his medicine. Well, then the lady, his wife, poked her head up from under the blanket and smiled. And I'm like, who's this? In my mind, I'm going, who is this? She had short, like a pixie haircut, short hair, and looked nothing like the other lady I saw. And he introduced himself and her name was Nadine, not Gloria. So when I first saw her, I was like, I kind of made a noise like that, like, but try to contain myself. Like, who the heck is this? And then I took the glass and the little bowl and I went out and I was like, who the heck is that? And who the heck is that? Have I been seeing all night? Well, anyway, then the caregiver, he was a guy, got there. And I was just kind of looking at him. I was like dying to ask him some questions. Like, has anything weird happened here before? No, all that. First thing I asked him was, when was this house built? And he said late 1880s. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I must have had a weird look on my face because he was looking at me and he kind of smirked and he goes, you met Gloria, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, who's Gloria? Who is she? And he said, we don't know, but she's the spirit that lives here. And I was like, really? And he started laughing and he goes, yeah, she's the reason we can't keep caregivers on the night shift because she gives them a hard time. And I said, so here I was thinking that was his wife. And he's like, no, that's a ghost. I'm like, so I've been talking to a ghost all night, seeing a ghost and she was plain as day. I mean, she looked real, plain as day. And then I kind of, on the way home, I was thinking now, okay, why on earth would I have that dream? And I'm wondering if that little girl in the dream was her when she was little, and they would get in trouble for running up and down the hallway up there and making noise and, because every time I would come downstairs, she was scowling at me and, "What are you doing up there? You're not supposed to be playing around up there." Kind of like scolding a kid for playing around up there. But oh my gosh, that was so weird. And then, probably maybe a year ago, my sister, because I had told her about the house, she used to live up in Paulsbo, Washington, and go to Port Townsend all the time. She loves Port Townsend. I don't. I get a really bad feeling in Port Townsend, like demonic. And I mean, there's a lot of haunted places there. And anyway, I told her where the house was. I can't for the life of me find it. I was going to try to find it on Google Map and then send it to you, but I can't remember if it's on Tyler Street or Taylor Street. And there are two streets, one over from the other. And then I'm, going down the on Google Street View trying to find the house, but I can't find it. Well, one day last year, she had sent me from Zillow. She found the house on Zillow for sale, and it had all the pictures of the rooms and everything. And in that room where the lady left the towels in the bedroom in the corner, there's a lone sink, just a sink and a mirror. And I looked up, why would that be there? Excuse me. And I guess in the Victorian days, they had sinks like that in the bedrooms for the men to shave. That was still in there. I mean, the house was absolutely gorgeous. It's just, yeah, haunted.